Hello friends and potential friends. Nice sunny day here in Central Florida. Today is February 8th, 2020. Well, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so we're getting into the shady part of the day. I thought I'd come out and do a quick run around to the garden, give y'all a little bit of a green fix. We'll start off up here on the patio where I've still got plenty of rosemary going. Horseradish is still kicking along. That horseradish hates me because I've kept it in that little pot for about 3 years now. One of the things I'm really happy to see, if I can get this gimbal to work right, is my mulberry. This is a cutting I took last year from a plant that is buried in the brush under a bunch of trees next door. Hardly ever sees the light of day, but I kept it in the lab until it got some roots on it, and then I brought it out here. Well, a couple months ago it dropped all its leaves, and that worried me. But now I'm starting to see new growth coming out just in the last week or so. So that one's coming back, it looks like. I'm going to have to find it a nice sunny spot in the yard somewhere to let it live out its life. Got one elderberry that's still going. Down below my feet I've got one poor little papaya that I haven't put in the ground yet. One of my loquats. There's another one right over there that really needs to go in the ground. And then I've got 3 of my lemon trees that I grew from seed last year. And those are ready to go in the ground too. Used to have 4, but I gave one to my friend up the street. Got my gardenia bush still going. Looks like something ate the leaves off the top, but the rest of it's still looking healthy. My turmeric has all dried up for the year. It won't be back probably till May. Same thing over here. A little bit more rosemary down under the lemongrass. My ginger also dried up for the year. It actually stayed green until just a couple weeks ago. That'll be digging up probably and putting in a different pot. Lemongrass is doing pretty good. The friend that gave this to me says I need to take it out of here and separate it into about 3 parts. I may do that. Still have the flowers on the aloe over there. Got one fig that's still doing good. I need to find a place for it in the yard too. Pineapple plantation is still doing pretty good. In fact, I see a little bit of new growth on those. No fruit forming yet, but there's still hope. And the blueberry bush that I've been saying needed to go in the ground for the last couple of years. But now what's really significant about today and why I wanted to get out here is February 8th is my official average last frost date here in Central Florida where I live. And according to my Clyde's planner, what that means is in about 3 weeks I can start putting tomatoes and peppers out in the yard. What? 3 weeks. Okay. This is one of my datil peppers. It's been in here since last fall. Actually, I think it was in here last summer too. And as you can see, it's still got plenty of fruit on it. I've been picking peppers off of that for the last year and a half. I have another one over here. Same thing, still has peppers on it. The amazing thing is, this time of year I don't have any white flies on them. I can't say that in the summertime. I can also start putting tomatoes out in the yard in a few weeks. Let's see, let me go down this side. These ones up here are Romas. And as you can see, I've got fruit on them. Lots of blossoms. Ooh, they smell good too. More fruit on this one. Lots more blossoms on these ones. Hopefully I'll be getting some ripe tomatoes by the time that 3 weeks rolls around. Now down at this end of the bed hardly ever gets any good sunlight. This is where I put the Amish paste tomatoes. And just a little while ago I noticed that one of them, this one right over here, has the first blossom that I've seen on the Amish paste. Ouch, mosquitoes. That's another of the things that you have to deal with when you're growing a garden in Central Florida, especially when you don't get any cold weather. Every time I come out here, I'm fighting off mosquitoes. I hate to think what it's going to be like when it starts warming up for real. They're going to be out in swarms. Second bed here, I've got a couple of rows of kale. Not real big, but they're still growing. I've been picking some of that for salads once in a while. Got the Swiss chard, which really didn't do much this year. Only about half a dozen of the plants even came up. Still have garlic planted around the edges. I don't know whether I'll get any bulbs out of that, because it hasn't gone through any kind of cold weather for stratification. But I've been eating salads just about every day out of the lettuce and the kale, some of the other things. A few more Roma tomatoes over here because I didn't have room for them in the other bed. And the cilantro, which has really impressed me this year. This is the first time I've ever been successful at growing cilantro in Central Florida. This is a slow bolt variety that I got from M.I. Gardner, and it tastes real good. Then we come around here, some more tomatoes. These are the delicious beefsteak tomatoes. Haven't eaten any yet, but there's some on there. Hopefully by the time the official planting date comes, I might even get a sandwich or two out of them. Those ones there, and I got this one guy over here. This was actually the first one that I spotted. Don't have very many blossoms on these right now, but a couple weeks ago they were loaded. Oh, there are still a few blossoms here and there. And we got mustard. Another of my rogue sweet potatoes. And then here at the end we've got collard greens. I've been cutting a few of them. They look a little bit skimpy because I keep picking leaves off of them, that and the mustard as well, to add into my salads. The rest of the yard, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's not a whole lot of sunlight out here. The moringa back in the corner is growing fairly good for considering its conditions. It's just now getting to the point where it's starting to see the sun, and the sun will be down in another couple hours. Sugarcane's still doing pretty good. There's a fig back there that is in the wrong place. I've still got a loquat in the ground back here behind all the brush, and I'm not going to walk over there, but there's a big glaring empty spot on my ponderosa lemon because I finally harvested that big lemon last week. I went looking back in my videos, and I've been watching that particular lemon since last March. It's been almost a year since it first popped up there, a little green marble, and then grew up and became almost a 2-pound lemon. It's ready for a pie now as soon as I find the time to try to get it done. But yeah, last frost date. I can start growing peppers pretty soon. That's one of the nice things about living down here. I do some of my best growing in the winter. Don't have to deal with as many pests, except these blasted mosquitoes. But anyway, I just thought I'd give you a quick look around. Hope you enjoyed the green fix, and I'll see you on the next video.